Well, good afternoon, Ashim. Indeed, we are in Emurua Dikirr, where I'm standing right now. We are at Soget Comprehensive School. That is Soget polling station. This is a station where the DCP candidate Vincent Kibet has just cast his vote. And of course, after casting his vote, he had a number of issues that he raised. Of course, those issues I'll be addressing in due course. However, I just want to put it across there that indeed the voting exercise kicked off at 6 a.m. in the morning as was anticipated. And 45,074 registered voters in this constituency will be going across or will be streaming across 56 polling stations just to do their democratic right, which is to cast the vote for their preferred candidate to be the next member of National Assembly after the demise of Johanna Ngeno, of course, in that ill-fated chopper crash that happened in February. That aside, of course, there have been a number of issues that have actually been raised by some of the candidates that are actually contesting in this poll. The DCP candidate Vincent Kibet, I've just talked to him a few minutes ago, and what he's actually raising, he's saying that some of his agents, and especially in Chelelme polling station, were actually locked out of that polling station, and he says he's actually registered his displeasure with those actions to the IBC in the morning, and he says that some of his agents were also attacked and assaulted, and he claims that he's actually reported the matter to the police. He's asking members of the public to maintain peace, but also those that have actually been registered as voters to come out in large numbers and exercise their democratic right, which is to vote for their preferred candidate in this by-election. So far, the information that we're actually getting is that between 30 and 40% of the registered voters in this constituency have actually turned up to cast their vote. But the number of but a number of candidates that I've actually spoke to are projecting that chances are that about 70% of the 45,074 registered voters in this constituency will actually come up and cast their vote. The polling stations, I have said, opened at around 6 a.m. in the morning, but I want to tell you, Hashim, that by 6:20 in some of the polling stations, the first person to cast their vote had actually not turned up. And I just give you an example of Somoweta polling station that the first person to actually cast his vote in that polling station did cast their vote at around 6:20. And that has been the story of the day in Emurua Dikirr by-election, where people have actually come, yes, to participate in this particular exercise, but also they've come at a very slow pace. What has happened is that members or those that are actually participating in this poll have kept on asking members of the public to come out in large numbers so that then they participate in this poll, but has also insisted that there's need to maintain peace and order even as they go about the exercise. So, of course, we'll be keeping a keen eye moving across this small constituency that was created in 2013, and of course we'll be traversing this constituency so that then we can actually bring you first-hand information of exactly what is happening here in Emurua Dikirr.